HALAL TV, your Muslim lifestyle channel. Today on HALAL TV.
My favorite surah is Surah to Goshia. It's because I can read it very well with good tajweed. I really don't know the meaning, but it's something I know very well. I've mastered. It's a chapter I've mastered. Maybe because my parents, they like the chapter so much, so they made all of us read it over and over at home.
What Duha? Surah to Duha.
My favorite surah in the Quran will be Surah to Dua.
Because of that part of it that Allah told the Prophet that what is coming is better than what has gone. Which I look at and I tell myself, at every point in life, I know that what I have faced before is like a preparatory phase for what I'm going to face next. And I know that what is coming next for me also is far better than what I have faced.
Why? Because when I was young, I knew that someone told me that if you are searching for something and you recite that surah while you're searching, you definitely find it. And all time I try it, it works out.
My favorite surah of the Quran would be Surah Al-Ikhlas.
Ikhlas. My favorite surah of the Quran is Ikhlas.
Okay, I love Al-Ikhlas.
I think the Prophet ﷺ said that Surah Al-Ikhlas is 1/3 of the entire Quran because it encapsulates the oneness of Allah and its uniqueness. Now, one thing that's very glaring is Allah said, "Qul huwa Allahu ahad." Ahad in the Quran or in the Quranic context means one in uniqueness, not just one. You could have just said Qul huwa Allahu wahid. Wahid is one as well, but it said Ahad. Ahad is one without divisions, one in uniqueness, one in itself. So I would say Surah Al-Ikhlas is because it really encapsulates the entire message of the Quran, that Allah is the one who is worthy of worship, and then no other person or no other being is worthy of worship beside him.
Because the message is very clear and very simple and straightforward. And there's only one God.
Because it was said that if you read Al-Ikhlas 3 times, it's equal to reading the Holy Quran, the whole of the Holy Quran. So I just love reading it, maybe because it's, I don't know, I just love it.
Reciting it actually softens the heart, like, so I prefer Ikhlas to other surahs. I recite it during Salat. I also use it when I'm praying to Allah.
The Holy Quran has 114 surahs. You cannot say ideally that this is my favorite surah. All of the 114 surahs, they are my favorite surahs. The long and short of it is that the one we recite every day, so many times, without it, no single rakat is complete without it. That is Kitab, Surah Al-Fatiha. 7 verses, which Almighty Allah said He has not given to any other prophet before Him. It is a combination of verses that forms the bedrock of one's belief as a true Muslim.
I'm not really knowledgeable in Quran, but I've had interaction with imams, I've attended lectures, I attempted local Arabic school, briefly. But I noticed that Fatiha, when I read the meaning in English language, I discovered that it has, even if you don't say any other prayer, once you wake up in the morning and just say Fatiha, you have said everything. And if you say it with deep belief, it will have said the prayer. And in fact, you know that a prayer that does not have Fatiha is not valid. So that importance is still there. To go through the meaning, you have thanked God, you have asked for forgiveness, you have told God about what you want in life. You also have seek His mercy, you know, after you have died. So the thing is that surah is very important. So for those of us who are not really knowledgeable in the Quran, I think Fatiha, I do not even think, I believe Fatiha is the best surah for me.
Kind of like Fatiha because it's prayer. It's something that you can, you know, in public, like when they say, oh, Maimuna will come and pray for us, and this thing is something that is a shortcut prayer for every gathering, and you know, everybody can kind of relate to it.
Virtually, I can say all the surahs of the Quran, you know, one like reciting them. Okay, maybe sometime one can say Surah Al-Baqarah.
My favorite surah is Surah Al-Baqarah.
My favorite surah in the Quran is Surah Al-Baqarah.
It is a surah in which Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, you know, try to, you know, in which Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala try to explain to us how we can be able to live our lives successfully, you know, in this world and in the hereafter.
Yeah, it's the longest in the Quran, and it has so many significance. There are stories, there are histories there, there are lessons there, and mainly because of the ayah, the Ayat al-Kursi, which the Prophet says is a weapon for Muslims. So that's mainly why I love it.
I like Surah Al-Baqarah because I think it's all-encompassing. It just talks about how you should live your life.
My favorite surah in the Quran should be Surah Yasin. I heard it's a very powerful surah, and it's actually one of the surahs that I know some part of it offhand. So it gives me joy whenever I get to read it during Salat. So I like that.
Surah Al-Mulk, it protects you from punishment of the grave. So if you read it often, like as many times as possible, daily, you get to like that.
My favorite surah in the whole Quran is in Surah Al-Tahrim, where Allah says, "O you believers, guide yourself and your family from the severe punishments that it is with human beings and stones that Allah is going to use it to punish people." So that surah means a lot if for who can reflect. So that surah is a surah that makes one to think a lot. So for now, that's my favorite surah.
My favorite surah in the Holy Quran is Surah Al-Kahf, and this is because the Prophet Muhammad encouraged us we should always recite it every Friday, and when we do so, it protects us from to the next Friday, from the same Friday you've read it to the next Friday, and it also encourages me to read the Holy Quran at least, even if it's not every day, but at least the Friday I must read the Holy Quran because of Surah Al-Kahf.
Beyond Surah Al-Fatiha, you see come across the surah which is at the middle of the whole Quran, and that is verse 19 of it is half of the Quran. That is Surah Al-Kahf. With the result that if you go through that Surah Al-Kahf, ayah by ayah, section by section, you will discover a lot that Almighty Allah has imparted onto the Muslim.
Surah Al-Ankabut, from the starting itself, it tells you that as a Muslim, you know that trials will come, whether you like it or not. So you should get ready for that. So it's kind of to tell the difference between the, how will I say, the difference between those that are truthful in the faith and those that are not truthful in the faith. That's what it actually comes to do. As in, that's just its starting, and it starts as it goes on. It keep on telling us of the stories of those that disbelieve and what was their end of those that disbelieved. So it's a kind of warning of this. Let me just say, it's a kind of warning. This surah itself, its shouting is kind of, I feel it's kind of scary again when I start its recitation.
What our people normally fail to appreciate when they read a surah is, first, they will speedily read through it. Two, they will not go and find out the meaning of each ayah which they are reading. I'm talking about some of our Muslim brothers and sisters. If only they can take the extra pains and find out the meaning of each ayah which they read through. And if they are also lucky, they can see the tafsir for that particular ayah, telling you the raison d'etat, that is the reason behind it. Automatically, all of us Muslims, we will always raise up our head high, both here in dunya and in Lyra.
HALTv, your Muslim lifestyle channel.
One day, my neighbor caught me by surprise and asked me to tell him a story that he said would illustrate the ethics of your religion. A story that he said would persuade me and help me appreciate Islam. The question completely startled me, but I quickly realized the famous story about an imam in London. Several years ago, an imam moved to London. He used to take the same bus every single day with the same driver to a stop near his mosque. One day as he was riding, he paid the bus fare and sat down, realizing that the driver had mistakenly given him an additional 40 pence. When the imam sat down, he considered keeping the extra change since it was an insignificant amount anyway. But as he was deboarding, he felt guilty and handed the 40 pence back to the driver and said, "Sir, I think you gave me too much change." The driver smiled and said, "Aren't you the new imam in this area? You know, lately I've actually been thinking about stopping by your mosque and learning about Islam. But before I did that, I wanted to see what you would do if I gave you extra change." As the imam stepped off of the bus, he was so shaken by the incident that he grabbed the pole, looked up to the sky, and cried out, "Oh Allah, I almost sold Islam for 40 pence. My neighbor said, "Let's face it though, if it was a significant amount of money, the imam would have kept it." I insisted that this was the inherent nature of the Muslim and he would have given it back even if it was 40,000 pounds. But he shook his head in disapproval, indicating he wasn't impressed. I didn't think that my neighbor thought much of the imam story. I thought he'd probably forgotten about it by the next day. Little did I know that just as the bus driver tested the imam, my neighbor wanted to test me by leaving a bag of a ton of money in the parking garage. I had no clue he was watching. I must admit, it was a whole lot of money, but I really didn't think twice about it. I acted in accordance with what my conscience and religion commanded me to do, knowing that if the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was in my shoes, he would have done the same. I had to find a way to get it back to its owner. I posted signs, I made calls, but got absolutely no response. People must have thought it was some kind of scam. My neighbor says to me, "Muslims can't be tempted, huh? I knew you'd give in and spend the money." So I told him what happened. "I'm not here to defend myself," I said. "But what I'd really like to do is teach you what our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us." I gave him the donation receipt from the charity to which I donated the money and informed him that the car I was driving was actually my uncle's car, which I was borrowing because my car had to be fixed. So then I asked him, "Have you filed your taxes for the year yet? I think we should get this receipt to your CPA." Imagine having a nasty neighbor that verbally abuses you in every conceivable way. But despite all of that abuse, when he travels or has to find someone to watch his precious valuables, he trusts no one more than you because he knows your integrity. That was our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. As we walked back home that day, my neighbor thanked me for the time we spent together, telling me I completely changed his perception of Islam and its Prophet. I then shared with him that it was our Prophet who said, "Honor the trust of those who give it to you, and do not betray the one who betrays you." What caught my attention is that my neighbor was willing to test me with such a huge amount of money, just to test my decency as a Muslim. إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. I hope that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would have been proud of how I responded. Rasulullah, we testify that you have fulfilled your trust and conveyed to us the message. We only pray that we can continue to convey on your behalf without betraying your trust.
HALTv, your Muslim lifestyle channel.
This is Abdulhakim from HALTv once again. I am here live at MyCard Fun Fair 2015 at Lekki. Beside me is also Lekki Central Mosque, and also around me is the Christian College. We are here to do what we do best, ask a Muslim. Any Muslim we see, we try to ask a very simple question from them, and I'm sure they will always get it. What is the biggest animal mentioned in the Holy Quran? Do you want options?
Biggest animal mentioned in the Holy Quran. Do you need options? Okay.
You want options? Okay, option A, camel. Option B, rhinoceros. Option C, elephant. Option D, dinosaur. What is your final answer?
Okay, elephant.
Do you agree with him?
No. Camel. Are you sure?
Elephant is bigger than I think we should go for elephant. Feel.
Okay, feel. Yes.
So, did he confuse you or he confused you? Which one? He confused.
Final answer is elephant.
The largest animal. Elephant?
Are you sure?
I'm not. I'm not.
Is that your final answer?
Maybe the whale that swallowed Prophet Yunus.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, I'll go with the whale.
This is a guessing answer. Dinosaur.
Final answer?
Dinosaur, elephants.
Final answer?
Elephants.
Elephant. Are you sure?
Wheel. That's it.
Will? Final answer?
Yeah, wheel.
I don't know if it's, I'm not sure if it's according to the Quran, but the largest animal that I know is mama. It's still an animal, so it's a whale.
Final answer, elephant?
Yes, elephant.
You were right. You were right. The answer is elephant. The answer was elephant. Sorry, you're wrong. The answer is elephant. You were right. You were right. Thank you very much. What is the best drink mentioned in the Holy Quran? The best drink.
Is it wine?
Are you sure?
No, I am not.
Final answer.
Wine.
Honey.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Final answer.
Honey. Milk.
I think drink.
What is the best drink mentioned in the Holy Quran?
Honey or drink? Honey or milk?
Honey or milk? You are politicians. Choose one.
I choose milk. Choose honey.
Milk, I think.
Milk.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Final answer, milk. Thank you very much. You were right. So, time out. The answer is milk. Seriously. Thank you very much for giving us your time. Final answer, milk. Glad to be here. Thank you very much. At least you've learned something today.
HALTv, your Muslim lifestyle channel.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hafiz Oyeturu, popularly known as Saka. You are on to HALTv. Keep watching HALTv. Allah bless you as you do so. Masalam.
Join us again tomorrow for more.
One thing I think I might have had a regret for is marrying a little late.
My greatest regret was that I was not opportune to memorize the Holy Quran when I was at my tender age. I had the opportunity, but I don't know, just not. I was not just opportune.
HALTv, your Muslim lifestyle channel.